Okay, so everyone here today have passed so many steps of the Spark Challenge and is now waiting to present their ideas. So right now, by now, you should have finalized your problem statement, finalized your big idea, and also planned your business. So far we have from Square Hub, we have guided you through the whole process of defining the problem to finding the correct idea, validating your problem and idea, and finally turning that into a business plan. So today, this is the final step, which is pitching that business idea. So today, what I'm going to talk about is 6 simple steps as to how you can ace your business pitch. So let's look at what these 6 steps are. We start from the hook, then we have a problem, a solution, the opportunity, business model, and we end it all with the future plan and the ask. Either both of them or either one. So this is the flow that you need to follow for any business pitch, regardless of how long you have for that pitch. It could be a 1 minute pitch, it could be a 3 minute pitch, it could be 5, it could be a whole 1 hour. This structure does not change. All right. So let's straight away go into the very first step, which is the hook. Okay. Basically, the hook is going to be the very first thing you say that's sole purpose is to grab the attention of the audience. So there are a few do's and don'ts when you are starting this presentation. I'll start with the don'ts, which is not really on this slide. So ideally, when you're pitching a business idea, time is very important. I'm I'm not 100% sure about the competition guidelines this time around, but it should be less than 10 minutes you have. Correct me, someone on the chat at least, if I'm wrong. And whatever the time you have is very precious, and you shouldn't be wasting it on good morning. It's such a pleasure to be here with you today, or we are so grateful to get this opportunity. No, none of that. Everybody already knows that you are grateful to be there and you've done that on your own talent. So you don't have to say that. And don't start with, oh, I'm so sorry, there's some technical error. No, the presenter will do that part for you and hand it over in a good note. So the start of your presentation, you need to focus on it being very crisp, very strong and attention grabbing. So you have to get the audience to stop whatever other thing they're doing and get them to listen to you. Right. So ideally the hook, like again, I want to reiterate, it has to grab the attention of the audience and it will also give a premise to what you're going to say. It's going to briefly introduce and set the mood for your entire presentation. So now let's look at what are the do's. What should you do? What does a good hook look like? Number 1, it could be a bold statement. Okay, so I'll give some examples. Just think of a world where Uber and PickMe, none of these ride-hailing apps exist. Okay, think that okay, they're not there anymore, and like I'm pitching this ride-hailing app, Uber, for the very first time, and you're the audience. Okay, so if for this particular speech, my hook, if it's a bold statement, it's going to be something like, all our lives, we were told not to get into a stranger's car. But today I'm going to tell you how getting to a stranger's car is the safest way for you to get to your destination. So that's an example for a bold statement. Getting into a stranger's car is not something you would do under normal circumstance if you don't know who's driving, right? So, and again, it can't be just a statement. you have to really define what the bold part is in your statement. And it has to make the audience think, oh, what is this person talking about, right? That's the kind of feeling that you want to give to the audience. All right. Or second thing you can do is it could be a provocative question, something that would really make the audience think. Again, same example. We'll try and make it a question. Okay. What if I say the safest way for you to travel is by getting into a stranger's car? Again, same sentiment. I made it a question, and it's thought provoking, right? Then if you hear it for the first time, where in a world where there's no ride hailing apps, you would think, what is this person talking about? What do you mean it's safe to get into a stranger's car? Right? So that's the kind of feeling that you want to give to the audience, make them think, so that they listen to what you want to say next. Or very popular method is storytelling. Start with a story that will give a good premise to the problem that you're going to present. So right after the hook, if you remember in the 6 steps, the second step was the problem. So here the story you're telling needs to connect to that problem statement. So again, for this same example of the ride hailing apps, let's say if you say a story like last year, I clearly remember getting a devastating call from my parents while I was at work. My grandfather had been admitted to the hospital and is in a very critical condition. It was 5 p.m., almost nearing 5 p.m. So it was so difficult to find a bus because I knew the bus would make it in time. I could not find a ride, no matter how much I tried. Every single tuk was full, and by the time I got there, I was already too late. So a story that really talks about the problem that you want to solve. So in this case, the problem was when you are in an urgent position where you need to really quickly find a ride, there's absolutely no way of getting one, and that will cost you a lot more. So in this story, so what I'm getting to is it cost me the last few moments I would have had with my grandfather. So if you're going in the storytelling direction, you have to really touch the emotional points. And I'm telling you, it doesn't have to be a real story. What I just said didn't happen. I just thought about it on the spot. Okay. But what it really has to capture, one, it's good if it's relatable, as in it has to be something realistic. What the story I just said, it is realistic. It can happen to someone, and maybe it has happened to some of you all, right? So the story has to be relatable to the audience you're speaking to. It's amazing if it could be emotional, and it has to very quickly highlight the biggest problem without having to say it out loud. When you hear the story itself, you guys do understand where the thing is going, right? Which direction I'm trying to go towards here. So all of these things has to be incorporated in the story that you decide to start with. So that's one way to do it. Or it could be a shocking statistic. So, for example, something like, did you know an average Sri Lankan spends 30 days of their lifetime waiting for a vehicle? Right? So something shocking. Imagine wasting 30 days of your life just waiting outside. So that's the kind of thing that you need to do. Okay. So the whole point is the statistic has to be shocking. If I just said, like, did you know that you're waiting like 2 minutes every day? It's the same thing. It might be the same thing. So if you add up 2 minutes for an entire lifetime, I don't know, do the math. I'm just saying, if you add up those 2 minutes in your entire lifetime, it will add up to like maybe 30 years, right? So always when you find a statistic, find a way to convert it into a shocking statistic. Don't just say something raw that doesn't really do that impact, right? Instead of saying, okay, you waste 2 minutes a day, we like do the math and convert it, and we say 30 days of your entire life. That is more impactful. So you have to find that impactful statistic, and here, don't lie. A story, it's okay to make it up to include all the elements, but a statistic, you can't lie, right? You have to have a verifiable source. If a member of the judge panel or someone in the audience asks, the statistic has to be facts. You can't lie about that. Okay, so these are all different hooks, and finally we have visuals or a demo. Two ways. You can start with a visual, either a couple of photographs or a video that captures the problem that you're trying to solve. Something I've seen over the years happening in the Spark Challenge itself is some groups start with a short video where they go and collect some data or like ask people about this the particular problem they're trying to solve. So that is also a good way to go. I don't recommend demo in this particular scenario, because without telling the audience the importance of your problem, leading with the solution is not that impactful. I'll get to that when I discuss the next two slides. So in the hook, the main thing, again, I'm going to reiterate, you have to make the audience listen to you. You have to briefly introduce or set the mood for what you're going to say. And a perfect hook will always make the audience curious enough to keep listening. That's the end goal. And after saying all of that, the most important thing is this hook has to be just 10% of your entire speech. So, sorry. If it's a 10-minute presentation, the hook has to be just 1 minute, right? So keep that in your mind. The hook can't be half of your presentation. Okay, next we are going into the problem statement. If you started with a story, then you're probably covering the problem statement part in the story. Or whatever the hook you use, it has to be a very natural transition into the problem statement. Right? So in this section, you need to clearly define the problem that you're trying to address. Okay, so a very good problem statement section when you're presenting would say what the problem is very clearly. So if you started with a hook, something like, going with a stranger is the safest way to travel, then your problem has to focus on the safety aspect, right? Then your core problem you're solving is that when you're going on tuk-tuks or cars, it's not safe. Or like usually in Sri Lanka, you don't have a safe way of travel, especially towards the night. Something like that, right? You have to focus on the safety aspect. If you go with the story that I told about how I got late to go to the hospital when my grandfather was sick, then if that is the kind of story you're leading within the hook, then your problem has to be your core problem you're solving has to be how you can't find a ride on demand, right? So you have to clearly frame the hook and connect it to the problem. And then in the same section, once you very clearly define, so from the hook transition to the problem, clearly define it, and then say who it's affecting it. So who is it affecting, right? You can very, very easily do it in the same sentence. This is just adding something like, this is something that all of us right now is facing. If anyone who wants to go from point A to B is facing the transport issue that you're talking about, something like that. And then say, why is it important? Now, this why can be connected if you brought in a statistic. You're spending 30 days of your life waiting. If you led with that hook, then you can connect it to the why. It's very important to say why you're solving the problem, because that also gives the audience a sense of, oh, so this is a problem that is worth solving, right? That's why we're saying why. And then talk about how big it is. Remember, this is not just a problem solution kind of scenario. You are presenting a business idea. So it's important to show that it's a problem worth solving. That's why we need to say how big it is. This is a problem that is faced by 60% of Sri Lankans, or 100,000, 1 million, whatever. Give numbers as much as you can. Do good research so that you can give numbers, and that would really set your team apart. Okay, so talk about how big the problem is, and if you can fit in some time, say why it hasn't been solved yet. Again, this last question is not essential. It really depends on your time and how you can manage time for all the other sections also. But it's good if you can also say, this is a problem. I'm sure people have thought about this before, but why isn't anyone solving? Or why are the current solutions not solving this properly? Especially if you're going into a very competitive market, then it's important to say why the current solutions are not really doing a good enough job, right? So once you show the audience what the problem is and how important it is to solve it, then only you should go into the solution. Okay. So in the solution, your goal is to show how your product and service solves the problem that you spoke about. Okay. So this is a good time to show the demo. If you have a demo of a physical product, this is the best time to show it in the middle of the pitch. Show your demo or explain what your solution, how your solution solves the problem. And it's very important to say what's so unique about it. How does it stand apart from whatever that's currently available? And ideally, this is so important. If you can do this, again, amazing. Show evidence as to why your solution is so effective. Like, prove that it works, basically. So this is where you need to put some extra work to pilot your solution. Get some feedback. Very important. Really, really puts teams apart. Because even the last time, even the previous Spark Challenge, I think all three, the first three places, all of them, they've actually had a pilot run of their respective solutions. I think they all had it, yeah. And they showed how they've gone and implemented and all the comments that they've received from people who use their solutions. So that's really important to show once you show the demo and talk about how unique it is. Okay, again, videos, pictures, as much as you can. If you have a physical prototype or the actual thing that you've made, bring it to the stage, show how it works, and very important, something that really can again make your presentation unique. Let the judges touch and feel whatever you produced. So if it's a service, obviously it's a bit difficult, but if it's a physical product, bring it, let the judges use it. If it's something like a mobile app, give a mobile device to the judges, let them use it, make sure it works, first of all, and let them use it. If it's a physical thing, bring it in front of them, do a small live demo if possible. When there's something tangible in front of you, it's really reassuring when you're talking about a concept. Rather than just talking about a concept. So try your best to get it to that level. A prototype or a demo would be great. Once you show, okay, this is a solution, it actually works, it's very effective. Now we are going into the business part. Your engineering work is done by step 3. Now you're really showing your business skills and how effective this could be in a business point of view. So here in the 4th section, opportunity, you talk about the market potential and the growth aspects for your solution. People can come up with various different solutions, but just because you come up with a good idea doesn't mean it's always, like I always say, it doesn't mean it can be turned into a viable business. So this section is very important to bridge that gap. You have a great idea and it is also a great business because this is what you need to cover in this section. So talk about riding. You can pull out either a car, like travel by not how at the total market, how if you were the only product in the entire world, how big is the market? What is the observable market? What is the grabbable market in Sri Lanka? Let's say if you're starting here in Sri Lanka, you obviously can't go and serve the entire world at the first go. So what is the observable market, and then the obtainable market, which is starting out, what's the realistic portion of the market you can get, right? So go back to those sessions and refer how big is that market size. Do that analysis. If you all don't remember, you were not there, do a quick search. It's called CAM-SAM-SOM. Okay, serviceable market and obtainable market. Yeah. And then you have what trends support this opportunity. Okay, sometimes for example, let's say you want to do some fidget toy business, right? There was a time that everybody was buying like really all these different types of fidget toys. It's not there too much right now, but I think right before COVID, all the way up to COVID, that period, people were buying fidget toys like crazy. There were all different types of the spinners, and then like things that you just have to press buttons, right? That was a crazy trend. So if there's a trend that supports the opportunity for your business, mention that. Or for example, if your solution is about some elderly care business, something that you can show how something that you can pull out to show that, oh, this market is going to keep on increasing, is to say, okay, in another 10 years, Sri Lanka will be an aging population. 2 in 5 adults will be over the age of 60. Right? Find statistics like that to support size can increase, that your opportunity can increase. And then the same thing you link to the potential for your revenue to grow, or show the potential growth of this market, right? So all of that, this you can't take too long. Again, about a 1-minute section if you have 10 whole minutes. So about 10% of your whole presentation, you have to finish off this section as well. And finally, one of the most important sections is your business model. Here's where you implement everything that you have learned from the Square Hub sessions. So you have to explain how your solution is going to generate revenue and be profitable and be a successful business. Lots of questions to answer here. You don't have to just present the BMC or the baseboard. That's not what we are expecting. But you have to answer these key questions. One is, how is your business going to make money? Okay, so what are your revenue streams? This was an entire section when we talked about the business model canvas. Talk about everything. Your main revenue stream is just by selling, direct sales. And then you can also have a subscription, or there can be advertisement revenues in some in tech applications, right? So however, all these revenue streams has to be mentioned first, and then talk about how you're pricing your product or service. What's the pricing strategy? Based on what are you pricing it? And then what is your total cost? So once you say what your pricing is and what your cost is, you can very clearly see the gross profit. right? And then talk about the key partners. Who would you need to produce this product or service? Who are you planning to partner to manufacture it as well as distribute it? And then how will you reach the customer? Very important. You guys had a very comprehensive go-to-market strategy session. So make use of that. Think about how are you going to market with this product, and then think about how do you actively keep getting more customers. That's your marketing part. So talk about all of that. So in this section, you have to cover your finances, your operation strategies, and your marketing. So all those key things you have to cover in this. And ideally, you should be spending about 25 to 30% of your presentation here. 20 to 30% of your presentation should focus on how your business works. And then finally, at the end, we go to the future prospects and your ask from the audience. So here you quickly outline the vision and the growth you have for this business. Now you don't talk about this as a solution, right? By this point, you have to talk about it as a business. And you have to, whatever you want from the judges or from the audience, you have to mention in this section as well. So again, the ask will change based on the setting. If you're going and pitching it to investors, then your ask will be, I don't know, 10 million rupees for X number of shares, right? But if you're talking to a competition, this ask might not be relevant. But ideally, this model has to fit any business pitch. That's why I have mentioned both of these things. Okay, so what you need to include in this section is what's the vision for the future, right? You've talked about how great of a potential this solution has. Now you need to show that, okay, in 10 years, we want to be the leading ride-hailing app in Sri Lanka, or we want to obtain 70% of the Sri Lankan market, whatever. What is your future aspiration for the company? And in terms of the ask, you would usually say, what support do you need? What is preventing you from getting there right now? Is it capital? Is it some knowledge? Is it some technology? Whatever it is. But in the Spark Challenge, what's most important is talking about the impact of your solution. You started off with a very strong problem statement. And again, all of these things are, the entire Spark Challenge is linked to the Sustainable Development Goals. So this is a good place to make sure in the problem statement, you highlight the Sustainable Development Goals that you're trying to target. And when you come into this section, you need to show that these Sustainable Development Goals are tackled. We are directly contributing to these development goals through our solution. Show the potential, show how much of an impact that you are doing. So your final statement should really drive that impact. If your whole speech or your presentation was in the emotional sense, then make sure you drive towards a nice emotional ending as well. If you are based on facts, then show, okay, if you do implement this solution in the scale we want, then this is going to be your new statistic. Okay. For example, if it's something related to plastic pollution, you could say, if you start with, did you know that right now an average human being is ingesting 2 kilograms of plastic in their life, microplastics in their lifetime? If that was your statistic, then you can end it with, if we implement this solution worldwide, that 2 kilogram can go down to 100 grams, something like that. Okay. So whichever way you start, always try to link your conclusion, this sixth section, to the opening and make it look like a very cohesive presentation. All right. So that's it. Once again, 6 steps. You start with the hook, introduce the problem, then introduce the solution, talk about the opportunity that you have, then present your business model and finish it very strong by talking about the impact and the future for your business along with an ask if you have one. All right. Those are the simple 6 steps in acing your business pitch. I am open for questions, and good luck for your pitches. Yeah. If nobody has questions, then that is the end of today's session. Thank you so much for joining today.